So I was going to hold off from doing this post before I did what I wanted to do, but I've chosen something else, and I think that it's just too clear how I feel about this. I can't keep it to myself in the hope that the results aren't going to be biased or fucked up, or that I'm not going to be lied to because they support these cunts and what they do. They're part of the process. So prove me wrong. Pandolfo's kept being attacked at this property in really severe ways, but his blood results were coming back normal. But he was really sick. He was getting kicked and bashed to the point where he couldn't move, literally. So I took him in to Bundoora Clinic, and the Jared Leto posts have to do with his favourite covers, which were a mermaid blanket, which you've seen photos of, and a jacket of mine, which was the colour that Jared Leto was wearing. And they got rid of the blanket. They just disappeared it so that he was left without a blanket, and I couldn't take it back and take it with him. They just took it. And they shrunk my jacket to the point where it was ruined. It was completely destroyed, and then they chucked it back in his cage beside him, not even on him, just they ruined it, and it was clearly done purposefully. He had, again, all his blood works were normal apart from high white blood cell count, apparently. And so some really bad, so I took him home after he got a bit better, but then I realized that they were drugging him. I got told this after he died, to give him an artificial sense of, happiness and feeling better. And they gave me some stuff which was pre-mixed, and I wasn't thinking, and I gave it to him every 12 hours, and then he got sick again and started hyperventilating. And I agreed to take him back on Friday for a checkup, and they kept him in. And on Saturday he was great. He was eating, he was all of this stuff, but again, then I'm informed, well, he was given drugs to make him feel good. But he had... So it was okay on Saturday, and on Sunday I went in and he was down and depressed, and he had a scratch on his nose, and I moved him and he meowed. He was in pain. And I was scared to take him home because I hadn't prepared something to stop them from getting to him. And in the 2 days or 3 days that he was home, they got to him again. They attacked him. And his white blood cell count was apparently high when I brought him in the first time, but it was higher the second time around, which didn't make sense. Now I'm told that not only did they abuse him severely 24 hours, like every hour, they didn't let him sleep at all, and they really tortured him. I am also told that they didn't give him any meds or any fluids. They just pretended to. And I believe that based on a number of things, including when he died, there was no release of fluids, and he didn't, it was just, I don't want to get into this, but I am convinced, just even if they didn't tell me that, they actually told me after. I was like, what is going on? Why is this so? He should, anyway, without going into detail, that's what happened. So I paid an inordinate amount to have him tortured and not medicated and given stuff to make him sick. And I'm not going to get into how, I really let him down. I saw these things and I didn't take him home on the Sunday. And on the Sunday night I got really angry, and I called them, and they said that they weren't sure if they gave him medicine or not, and I wasn't angry with them. It's just, I just wanted to check up on him. And on Monday he was hyperventilating again. I was like, what is going on here? I'm taking him home. And he was normal with me, and remember, his blood results were normal and stuff. And the difference was he was flatter again. He was really depressed, and he had a big lump on his side, like he'd been hit so badly that he had this bulging swelling, and he was clearly in pain and scared. Every time the nurses came near me or the vet, he started to breathe heavy, and I knew. I looked at them and I was furious. At that point I literally said, "What have you done to him? What have you done to him?" And I said, "I'm taking him home." And so stupid, I let them take him away to prepare him to bring me, to let me take him home. And then when I go into the room, he is not only, so he was breathing fast as opposed to hyperventilating. His breathing pattern wasn't normal. Sorry, I didn't specify that correctly. He was not breathing normally, but he wasn't hyperventilating. And then when they brought him to me, his tongue was blue. He was hanging out of his mouth. He was in no way like this when I saw him. It's like, and they took a long time, and whatever happened in that time. They said they gave him an injection, an antibiotic for 24 hours, but obviously linking with Morrison, that fucked him. They killed him on that, and his mouth was hanging open, his tongue was hanging out. They stuck it, when I looked, his tongue was blue, and he was now really hyperventilating and in clear distress. And I was like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And they were just going to, I said, "He needs to be on oxygen. What have you done?" I started freaking out. So I followed them into the room, and they put him on oxygen, and all of a sudden, from a normal body temperature, his temperature was cold. And I said, I have to take him home. I left him on until he recovered, and he was with me purring and beautiful. And then I don't know what happened with me, but I think they took him away again, and they brought him back, and they'd thrown something over him, and I think it was, so they killed him. And on the taxi ride home, he wasn't breathing, and then all of a sudden he came back to life, and he was screaming and meowing like he was fighting them off. You could say it was a memory. He was delirious, but that's what he went back into. That's what they put him through. And I just didn't think I lost it. And I went back to the clinic and then he died again, and I wanted them to revive him, and then I got told, well, they sealed it. They buried him there. He did come back to life, and they killed him. And that's what happened. So if you love your pets, don't take them anywhere near there. Don't take them to vets. That's what vets do. Care killed Master Hai. Bandura Veterinary Clinic. Master Hai had a progression. They could excuse it. They literally killed a healthy cat who had an infection, which antibiotics could have fixed. That's what they did. They literally did that. Shameless. When I was speaking, the vet was just like, I don't know why he's like that. I'm not kidding you. They were so, I've never been so shocked in my life. They just were so blasé. Like, I don't know. What? Oh my God. On Sunday morning at about 4 a.m. I spoke to a vet, and she said, I'm happy to have him go home. He's eating, he's standing up, he's happy. I mean, clearly she was torturing him, but that's still the state that he was in. Sorry, Monday morning at 4 a.m. So within 12 hours, he's dead. And a big change from when I went in to see him Monday even Monday when they said I could, to when they brought him to me when I wanted to take him home. In that 10-minute period. So if you don't love your cats or animals, do it yourself. Just, you are crazy to take them to vets. You are crazy to take them to Bundoora Veterinary Clinic or Care Enrichment, but particularly Bundoora Veterinary Clinic. You are paying strangers to torture your animals. So that is the truth.